Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching these videos. So today there's two stories. The first one was a little bit sad and the second one is better. So this is Lily Rose Hart's birth, November 20th, 1976. So again, the birth before was November 11th, 1970. And this one is Lily Rose's birth, November 20th, 1976. So 6 years later, and it's by Kim Trainer, the same lady. So it was 6 years later before I was to give birth again. I knew I would definitely have a home birth with a midwife, but, I didn't know how to go about it. A friend of mine told me about the farm. And again, the farm is a birth, like a birth center that Ina May had. It's offered to women who didn't want an abortion but had no support. I knew I wanted to have this child. The father wasn't there for us, so I felt I should at least have my baby in a place that encouraged natural birth. I arrived 4 months before the birth of the baby and lived in an old army tent with a wood frame and a sort of combination house and tent. I was integrated into living in the Tennessee woods with many other birth parents and extended families. That is so cool. So it was the farm, and it was literally, they had all like living facilities that you could go and live there to birth your baby in a safe place. We were a community of about 400 when I arrived in 1973. I was always employed in some form of community service, and my 5-year-old daughter was involved in a community with the kids group and got to take care of the horses and play in the woods and be cared for by other mothers when I was working. Along with about 4 other mothers, I took care of a group of kids when I wasn't working at something else. When I was ready to give birth, I was already familiar with the women who would be my midwives. I felt whole and healthy on the completely vegetarian diet of the farm. My daughter, my unborn baby, and I were indeed thriving. When my water broke, I called Leslie, one of the midwives on call, to let her know that I was about to start my labor. She hurried over to check my dilation. It all felt relaxed and loving. And remember the story before. If you haven't heard that one, in the video before, I told the story of her previous birth, and it definitely wasn't like this. She checked my dilation. It felt loving and relaxed. My daughter wandered in and out of the room for a while, but she had one of the women to look after her while I was in labor. That is so beautiful. The birth rushes were strong and steady. I was surrounded by 5 wonderful women who all had their babies at home and knew exactly what I was feeling. They encouraged, rubbed, joked with me, kissed me. I felt like I was a precious person giving birth to a precious baby. I'm gonna cry. When I was in transition, I gasped, and I thought I could not go on. At this point, the woman behind me said, "What you need is this," and gave me a kiss. That made me laugh. Then I began pushing, which I thought was a great sensation. It felt so good. I moaned very deeply, almost sounding like a cow. It began to get dark and cold, so we lit the kerosene lamp and stoked the fire in the wood stove. That is like my dream birth. The ecstasy of birth was so wonderful. My daughter slipped out, and a long and graceful baby, all 9 pounds and 10 ounces of her, without a tear. We all laughed, such a feeling of elation. The midwives put Lily on my chest, and we all admired and adored her. I thanked the midwives, and they thanked me for being so easy to help in birth. I bonded naturally with my baby. She nursed easily and happy. I felt strong and powerful. I thought if I could do this, I could do anything. This community of hardworking and honest people showed me how to be who I really was. I decided to stay and live with them and have them be my tribe and family. That is so beautiful. Oh, and she has one more story. I'll actually read that story as well in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. This was so beautiful. Please share this with another mom that you think it would help or that it would encourage. And I hope you all have a beautiful day and take care and be safe.